Hello, it's me, Colton Johnson with Empty Popcorn Bucket Productions, and today I want to do something that I've been working on for quite some time. I started this back in May of last year, and now I have finally concluded what I call my Pixar rewatch journey. For this video in particular, I will be doing a ranking and review of each of the 30 now released Pixar films. Pixar has been something that I've absolutely enjoyed throughout the entirety of my life. I grew up watching a handful of these movies, and they've shaped my childhood. One of them is actually in my top 10 favorite films of all time, and it shaped me to who I am today. There's something special about Pixar storytelling that is unlike any of the other animation studios out there. They take simple ideas, yet enhance it with great themes and just overall classic storytelling. They can take ideas as simple as monsters who have to work out energy crisis to toys who come alive, and even cars, rats that cook, you name it. Pixar is one of those storytelling groups that the sky is no limits. So here is the Pixar movie lineup. These are the 30 films that I sat through and watched and enjoyed and reviewed, each one of them. As part of this, I have also ranked them, and this is the order I would go through for this particular video. As I go through each movie, I just want to share that this is my opinion, and there is reasons to why I may have ranked them where I've ranked them. So I apologize if you don't agree. That's just my opinion, and that's where it lies. So I want to go over my thoughts of the ages of Pixar, starting with the early years of Pixar, or the classic years. So we have from 1995 to 2004 is like that first decade of Pixar. We have some of the classics. These are the ones that I grew up watching, and I still love them to this day. Then we have the golden age of Pixar, where we have some more, I would say, modern classics, even though most of these films have come out in the last 20 years. But this is from 2006 to 2010. You could also state that this is the Disney era. This is when Disney actually acquired Pixar. And you can tell, but it doesn't really fully showcase that until our next era, which is the sequel era. Yes, I know this is not all sequels. There are some original movies here and there, but it's almost like every other movie is a sequel. So that's why it is the sequel era. Then we have the reinvention era or age of Pixar. These are movies that, in my opinion, I feel like have been swept under the rug. A lot of that is due to the fact that most of them received only a Disney Plus release due to the pandemic, and not a lot of people give them the love that I feel like some of them deserve. Then we have the new age of Pixar, and on this image that I have here, I did include Toy Story 5. Yes, I have not seen it. It does come out later this year. But this video is more in celebration of the 30th Pixar released film, which is Hoppers, which I will include on this ranking. So, without further ado, well, first, actually, let me discuss the rubric. So, I developed a rubric for this series in general to kind of test my skills doing movie reviews. So I created a rubric that underlines the animation and visuals, story and writing, emotional impact, originality and themes, rewatchability, and legacy. And in each one, there's just different things and criteria that I followed. And I scored each of the 5 from 1 to 10. And from there, it would total up to 50 at the most. And that's just sort of how I ranked it. This kind of just leans more towards how I rank a lot of my stuff, which is out of 5, due to my usage of Letterboxd. So that is why I just do it 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. This is just 1 to 5 because it's easier for my rankings in general. So without further ado, we are going to jump in to my Pixar ranking and review. Alright, first we have Turning Red. When this first released, I actually enjoyed it a lot, but as time has gone on, it's definitely not as good as I remember. I rewatched this feeling overstimulated and just kind of confused by the plot. I guess I'm probably just not the target audience for this particular film, but I do like the unique animation style. It is definitely different than what we've seen in a lot of Pixar movies. And even this being on the bottom of my list, I wouldn't say it's directly bad. It's just not for me. Moving on to my next, which is The Good Dinosaur. Mind you, I like dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are cool. Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I like dinosaurs. So when Pixar decided, hey, let's make a dinosaur movie, and we got a dinosaur movie, and it's boring. I think the animation's great. The soundtrack's not even too bad, but I felt like the story overall is dull. It definitely takes story beats from other films. Like, it made me think of Ice Age a little bit, with animal-like character finding a child and bringing it back to its people. But overall, I just feel like the movie just wasn't as good as a lot of the other movies on this list. And it's just one that I don't see myself really revisiting. Another thing that I kind of looked at when I did a lot of my ranking, with its rewatchability and its legacy, I look at it and see, hey, will this make a good theme park attraction? We already have some dinosaur related theme park attractions, and I feel like The Good Dinosaur is just not a good enough IP to translate into a film. I mean, into a ride. So that also plays into my ranking. Not saying it's a big leverage of what goes into my ranking, but I look at that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a terrible movie. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It's just boring. Now let's move on to my next spot, Cars 2. So this one already gets a lot of crap. For one, it is the worst Pixar sequel. And in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of the Cars franchise as a whole. I think they're a little overhyped, and that's someone who is not a big car person in general. Like, I drive my car because it gets me to point A to point B, and I like them iconic cars from movies, whatever. But there's just something that is still iconic about the Cars movies. I remember when this came out, like 15 years ago, on the whim, didn't even know it existed, and we saw it, and I was like, wow, that's a movie. Over time, I mean, it has some funny elements, but I feel like this definitely could have been like a Mater movie, than just like a Cars movie overall. And I think it's interesting the way they went about it, making it like a spy car movie. It just isn't the best of its franchise in general. The animation's alright at best. It's basically the same as the first one, maybe touched up a little more. The story's messy, and I mean, it's Cars, so people will watch it, and that's just it. Then we have A Bug's Life. Honestly, it hurts me so much that this is this low on my list. I grew up loving A Bug's Life, and I still very much like A Bug's Life, but I, like mentioned before, I started this looking at these movies in a pretty critical, I wouldn't say critical, but I ranked them in the way that I ranked them. And that's retroactive, and as time has gone on, looking back to this, Bug's Life is out of the classics. So you get Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Cars, I would even add, and Incredibles. Out of all of those, we've gotten sequels from all of them except for A Bug's Life. Yes, in the past we did get theme park attractions and even a full-on land dedicated to this IP, but that's all since gone, and we don't have that anymore. I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I love A Bug's Life. I think it's a lot of fun, but I don't think it's a perfect movie either. I think the animation's, good for what it is, but it's improved so much since this movie is released. And it is the second Pixar movie, so you could look at it from that angle as well. But the bigger picture, Flick, I think, is an annoying character. He is a terrible protagonist, and he just bugs me. I don't like him as a character. I do like the other characters. I like the supporting characters, especially the circus bugs. I think they are a lot of fun, add a lot of great character and humor to the film. But I think it was just Flick is what kind of threw me off when I was coming back to this movie and rewatching it. Maybe I'll give it another rewatch and rethink it. But for right now, this is where it lands at 27. Then at 26, we have Finding Dory. I don't hate this movie. I think it's actually a pretty fun movie, but it's not one that I seemingly will go back to just to go watch it. If I want to watch a movie with these characters, I'll watch the original. But for what it does, I think it does tell a pretty original story within this franchise. It doesn't directly rehash the first movie, which they very well could have done that. But having the focus on Dory is a lot of fun. And I think it's really cool to see her story take place. Though the story is alright. I don't think it's the best story in the world, but I think it's good for what it is. But I do think the original, the first one, is a lot better. And I think that's kind of where I look at it, and that's why it's ranked at this spot. Next, we have Cars 3. I actually liked Cars 3 a lot when it came out. I think it's a super fun road trip movie. I think it's kind of a good passing the torch movie as well. We don't get as much focus on Mater as we did in the last two, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think it has a lot of good moments and a good character study of the character of Lightning McQueen. He used to be the rookie, and now he is getting close to the time where he can move on to bigger and better things. Next up, we have Toy Story 4. I have honestly given this a lot more crap than I deserve to give it. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that I didn't get to see it in theaters when it did release. I was on a mission, and so I didn't get around to actually watching it until afterwards, and that was like a year and a half after it was released, and I'd only seen it once, and then I watched it again as part of this rewatch, and I kind of took back some of the criticisms that I originally did have with it. Though it does not rank nearly as close as the first three, I think the first three are some of the best Pixar movies of all the Pixar movies. But I don't want to discredit Toy Story 4 in any means. Do I think this movie was necessary? Probably not. But I do think it still tells a pretty compelling story. The animation is breathtaking. I think one of the most stellar parts of this movie. I really like Forky, and I think the idea of having a craft turning into a toy is a very interesting idea. But I feel like the plot is pretty thin, not gonna lie. And the way it ends is kind of frustrating, especially with the thought that they are coming out with a Toy Story 5. But it is what it is. It's one of the more successful Pixar franchise, so it is what it is, and we'll enjoy it when it comes out. Then there's Incredibles 2, which I was very excited for when this did release. Incredibles is one of my favorites. I'll get into that later, but I thought that this was going to be really good. Though I did very much enjoy it the first time around, as I've revisited it, I've kind of built my frustrations toward it. Though I do think the animation is wonderful and definitely a step up from the first one, I do think that the storyline itself was kind of frustrating. I didn't like it as much. I do like seeing Bob or Mr. Incredible be a dad, especially as a dad. I think that actually made the biggest impact upon rewatch, is kind of seeing him as a dad and being able to relate in that point of view. I think it is highly predictable. I definitely saw the twist from the trailers before the movie released, and it's easy to see just casually watching the movie. And so that's kind of my thoughts there. But overall, I still think it's a fun movie, and I think it's a pretty decent sequel. Next up, we have Luca. I think my favorite part of this movie, one, I love the setting. I think the setting is really cool. It almost gives off like a foreign film, but it's Pixar, so that's really interesting. I do like the animation style. I think it's done very well. But my favorite aspect of the movie in general is the score. I love the soundtrack of this movie. Like, it hypes me up when listening to it. I think this movie is really good, and though it's not the best Pixar movie there is, it still has a fun story, some fun characters, and overall, just a good time. Then we have the good old Cars movie. I like Cars. I remember liking a lot more as a kid, but like I mentioned earlier, it's not my favorite franchise of all the Pixar franchises. Though this movie is still iconic, and I remember watching it a handful of times in theaters. It's still a fun story. Getting to see Lightning McQueen with his big head going into Radiator Springs, like, it's still a down-to-earth movie that I still think is a lot of fun. I do see where criticism lies with other people, but I think it's fun, but it's not the best there is. Then we have Onward. Surprisingly, this is one that actually got higher on my list as I did check it out again. This is another one that I didn't get to check out until way later, but I think it's a fun story. It definitely feels like something more in line with something Disney would do, but does have that Pixar flair to it. I think it has a compelling story that is very enjoyable. My biggest critique with this film is probably the voice acting. Nothing against Chris Pratt or Tom Holland. I just don't feel like they fit the roles that they played. I mean, Tom Holland does pretty well, but I feel like they could have had somebody else play Owen in this. I think his name's Owen. That's just so much. I don't think it's Owen. He does play an Owen in another movie, though. I don't even remember the name. There's some plot elements that are kind of forgetful too, but and the animation is all right for Pixar in general. I think this is just, it released at such a slump. It released right as COVID began, and so it kind of has gotten swept under the rug. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's definitely one that I don't often come and revisit. Now we have Brave. This is one that I definitely brought it a lot higher upon this rewatch. I don't give this movie as much credit as it should be given. One, the animation is beautiful. The story is really good. And it overall is a pretty good movie. I kind of give it more credit kind of looking at it from the whole Pixar theory perspective, and with the witch being Boo and all that. That's just, I mean, broad thinking, you know. But I think this movie is still good, and it was definitely a lot better upon rewatch than it was when I first watched it. Then we have Inside Out 2. This is one that when I first watched it, I was like, wow, this is the best Pixar sequel. Like, it's incredible, top 10, you know. But after reevaluation, I can see where I love all the stuff that do with the emotions. I think that is awesome. But the whole Riley perspective of things, I'm just not sold. I just find the whole hockey camp kind of boring. I feel like it's almost too much of the same thing. But I do like the emotion characters. Anxiety is an incredible character, and it's fun to see how that all plays out in the movie. But it's just the Riley perspective of it kind of throws me off a little bit. That being said, I still think it's a very well done movie. The animation is beautiful, like always. And overall, it's a great time. Then we have Monsters University. I feel like this movie is personally slept on. I think this one is a brilliant movie. I love this movie. I love the Monsters franchise in general. It's kind of one of my more favorable franchises of all the Pixar franchises. I think this one's incredible. I love the characters. I love seeing that dynamic between Mike and Sully and their college years. And I like the original storytelling of it. Even though it is a franchise, the way they went about it, making a college story and just having a lot of fun with it. I think it was well done. There were some really good heartfelt moments. The animation's really great. And overall, it's a good time. And I really think that we could get another Monsters movie in the future, because I feel like there's more stories that could be told in this world. Lightyear. So, when I saw this movie, I was blown away. I thought it was really good. There's aspects of it that I feel like are slightly bland when it comes to the story, but I think the animation alone is what really sells it for me. I think the animation is brilliant. But my perspective of this movie is why I probably ranked it the way I did, almost kind of in that halfway point. I look at this movie less than the movie that Andy sees as a kid, but more so, I feel like this would have been better portrayed as if it was the remake of the movie that Andy watched as a kid. Because this kind of gives off the vibes that this came out when it came out, or in like the mid 2010s. I feel like if they went about it in the way of making it actually look like a movie that was made in like either the late 90s, or not late 90s, late 80s or mid 90s, I feel like that would have put more validity into the Buzz Lightyear that Andy gets as a kid, But other than that, I think it's a fun movie. It does have its flaws. It is slightly boring at times, but I think it's a visual spectacle, and that's kind of what sells it for me. But it's a fun movie. Now we're getting into the top 15. Most of these movies, in my opinion, are great. We have Elio, which released last year. I thought this movie was awesome. I think it was very enjoyable. It was good to get another original movie from Pixar. I love the story. I think it's a lot of fun. It's very, very simple, but it's fun to see aliens and the way that they are portrayed in this movie. I think it's very colorful and just overall a good time. Yes, it's not perfect. There's some moments, but I thought it was great. Then we have Elemental. I rewatched this pretty recently since it was towards the end of my list of movies that I needed to rewatch. And this one hit a lot harder this time around than it did the first time. This movie is amazing. I think the animation is just breathtaking. I think the story is very original. Yes, you could look at it and be like, oh, it's very similar to Zootopia. But I think it's a lot deeper. It builds more into cultures and different ethnicities rather than class. And so I thought that was very important storytelling. But overall, just the dynamic between Ember and Wade is just so fun to watch. And it's just a very exciting, very fun movie, very heartwarming, and pretty funny as well. That it makes me sad that this one kind of got swept under the rug as well, because it was kind of a detriment based on the previous releases were all basically just Disney Plus releases for a few years. And so this one suffered because people kind of anticipated, they'll probably just throw it on Disney Plus. But the thing about this movie, though, it did succeed when it did hit the platform, which kind of makes me sad. Please go support original movies, because like this one, it is really good. Then we have WALL-E. This is one that as a kid I thought was boring, and it was kind of just hard to watch. But as I've gotten older and just sat down and just enjoy how this film goes, it's almost like a silent film in a way, where you see these two characters in their love story, but it's just two robots, and it's so heartfelt. There's a great message to it, and I just think it's overall just a good time. It really puts in perspective that you need some sort of humanity to live. It's robots, but he clings on to humanity, and it's just a very interesting story. I love the animation. The score is beautiful, and I think it's a great time. Then we have the first Inside Out. This one definitely is one of the best of the decade. I love this movie. I think it is brilliant. I think it is really cool and really relevant to have a movie about your emotions. Some people look at emotions in a lot of different ways, and it's really good to learn how to accept those emotions and find ways to understand your emotions. This movie is really well and done, and the animation is also beautiful. I love the vibrant colors that this movie shows, and I love the story. I love Bing Bong, and yeah, it's just a phenomenal movie. Then we have Up. It was so hard not to put this in my top 10. It was in my top 10, but based on another movie that is on this list, it didn't make the top 10. I love Up. I think it is so cute. It is so much fun. And I think it's fun to see a story about an old man and I'd say a scout in a way, a wilderness explorer going on this adventure, the old man clinging on to his late wife. I think it's a powerful story. I think it's a lot of fun. And honestly, one of the best Pixar movies. Yes, it's soul-crushing in that first 10 minutes, but it is still a very compelling story and so much fun. Now we are in my top 10, and at my number 10th spot is Hoppers. Yes, this may be recency bias, but I had a blast with this movie. I didn't realize that this movie was going to hit me as much as it did. I thought the story was amazing, the animation was beautiful, and it was just a movie that I needed to see, I needed to watch. As an adult, it still hit those emotion beats. It's hilarious, very, very funny. Honestly, one of the funniest Pixar movies that have ever been released, if not the funniest. But then this one was a lot of fun. I feel like this easily could become a modern classic. I won't go into full details because I've already released my full review on that, so go check that out. But this movie is brilliant. I think it is wonderful. And yeah, that's why it scored so high. Then there is Toy Story, the one that started it all. I love Toy Story 1. This is just the pinnacle of Pixar. It is so much fun watching this and seeing just that dynamic between Woody and Buzz. I just love it. It's classic storytelling and classic Pixar. But I do think Toy Story 2 is a significant improvement. Though I wouldn't say it ranks too much higher than Toy Story 1, I do love the story of Toy Story 2. I think it's a lot more compelling. They definitely improved on the animation. And I love the new characters that they included in this one. I also do like the focus that they do put on Buzz and some of the other characters. I thought that was very well done. Then we have Soul. Personally, one of the best movies of the decade and best Pixar movie of the decade. This movie is brilliant. It definitely gets me in tears every time I watch it. I think the story is wonderful. I am a big fan of jazz. And overall, I think this is just a really great movie to watch. It has a lot to tell you about life and the meaning of life. It's well done. The animation's beautiful. And it's something very different than a lot of other Pixar movies. But it's very, very beautiful. Then we have number 6. So when I first did my ranking, I was like, this was probably in like the 10 to 15 range. But I've watched this movie 4 times since that initial watch. You can thank my daughter for that. She is obsessed with Monsters, Inc. And mind you, I love Monsters, Inc. It is one of my absolute favorites. I think it is so much fun. It's definitely one of the most rewatchable Pixar movies, obviously, with me sitting through watching it several times in the last year. I've watched it twice already this year, and we're only in February. Well, actually, as I'm recording it, it's March. Well, it's March. That's just beside the point. This movie's a lot of fun. I think it's such an original story. I love the characters. I love Mike and Sully. I think it has a really good villain as well. I mean, I haven't even really talked about villains throughout it. But yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. And I definitely think this franchise has so much potential. Like, yes, you realize that Pixar they're going to keep making sequels, regardless if you like it or not. And I want another Monsters, Inc. movie. I think that would be awesome. Give us another Monsters, Inc. movie. I'll check it out. My daughter will love it. Just give us another one. Then we have Toy Story 3, which I think is the best of the Toy Story movies. This movie is so emotionally put together. The animation is the best that we see. I love the characters. I love what the characters go through. I love Woody's story in this, but also the other toys as well. and he goes to college, and it's a really good reevaluation of, oh, let's look back to our childhood and like look at the things of our childhood. We do eventually grow up, and sometimes we don't fully realize and accept that it just happens so fast that it just flies by. And this movie coming out like over 15 years ago still stands very strong, and it's definitely one of the best. Then we have Finding Nemo. This is actually the first movie I ever recall ever seeing in theaters, and it's still one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Finding Nemo. I love the story. I love the animation. It's just so heartfelt, so compelling, and honestly one of the best. Obviously, it's in my top 3 or top 4, but it is so incredible. One of the best. I love the story, and it's just overall a good time. Now we're in my top 3 with Incredibles. The Incredibles, if you will. I love this movie. I think it's the movie that we should have gotten when it came to having a Fantastic Four movie originally. But I love the family dynamic of this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun elements. I feel like it's a little more mature than other Pixar movies, but I love it. It's a family movie. I wouldn't say it's a kids movie. It's a family movie, and you can bring the family together. I love the different superhero dynamics, and overall, it's just a lot of fun and some really great moments. Number 2, we have Coco. From the instant that I watched this movie, I knew that this was going to be one of my favorites, and it has stood the test of time at being one of my favorites, to the point where they've even announced a sequel. I don't know how I feel about that, but I love Coco. I think the animation is breathtaking, the story is incredible, and it's just overall a good time. And they're actually making a boat ride at Disney California Adventure. I am very, very, very excited about it, and it's just one of my favorites. Then we have Ratatouille. I love this movie. Not only as an animated movie, not even as a Pixar movie, I love this movie. It's even in my top 4 on Letterboxd. It's my favorite animated movie of all time, and it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I love this movie. I try to watch it at least once a year. I love the story of anyone can cook. When I was younger, I actually wanted to be a chef because of this movie. Yes, I haven't pursued that route, but kind of looking at it in a perspective of the story, anyone can do anything if you put your mind to it. The animation is wonderful. I love Brad Bird and just the level of storytelling he brings into a lot of different movies. But this one is like anything else, or unlike anything else. And they took a simple idea of a rat being able to cook, and they ran with it and created one of the most compelling movies that I've ever seen. And I absolutely love it. And that is why it is my number 1 Pixar movie of all time. There you have it, guys. That is my ranking of all the Pixar movies. Yes, I apologize. It's all over the place. I decided that it'd be better if I just went unscripted and kind of just shared my thoughts overall, especially since I have a full-on scripted video that I'm still in the process of writing, and I'm very excited for. But I just wanted to share my thoughts and my rankings of all the Pixar movies. It definitely was one of my favorite projects to do. I apologize for the length that it took to actually get it done. But watching 30 movies does take a lot of time, especially when there was some that I had to wait for them to be released, as well as just convenience and time and just everything life throws at you. I mean, with having a kid and finishing up school and all that stuff, life throws a lot at you, but I was able to get this video done, watch 30 of the Pixar movies, rank them, review them, and here we are. be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. I deeply appreciate it. And stay tuned for other videos coming soon, and have a wonderful day. Bye.